Hello everybody and welcome back to the Winning Streak, also known this episode as the Viper Times. If you did not know, that is my school website. What are you doing? I upload articles on there and you can check that out as well. My name is Bryson and we are here with the Winning Streak mascot, Big Red, who I will be sitting down now. Today I have a new segment, or just kind of episode series I guess you could call it, calling it Fabulous versus Fraudulent. It is regarding the NBA, and every week I'm just going to try to go over a few players who had played fabulous or who had played fraudulent. So starting off, I know it's really early in the season, so please don't get on to me about this player hasn't had time or blah blah blah. I don't care. Just hear me out for what I have to say. This is for now. This is week by week, each week. So starting off with the 4-2 Milwaukee Bucks. Not frauds, just a little underwhelming, I guess. Most people would disagree with that even. I would not. Giannis is averaging 26, 9, and 3, and Dame is averaging 23, 5, and 5. I don't want to make that sound like a bad thing, because I don't think many of us expected him to come out and average like 34 and 10, but I feel like 23, 5, and 5, especially only through about 6 games, just isn't very good. I want to point out he had 6 versus the Atlanta Hawks in their loss and 15 versus the Raptors in their loss. So I will say it's a little weird seeing that someone brand new to the team, it looks like they're already kind of relying on him. And like I just said, it's very early in the season. This is not season predictions. This is season opener rankings, I guess you could call it even. But I believe the Bucks are on top of their division right now. So, I mean, they're not frauds. They're just a little underwhelming. We expected them to come out and be the best duo of all time, quite literally. So I guess it is a little fair to expect more. 3 and 4 Lakers, also not frauds, but they're concerning. Not necessarily underwhelming, but they are a concern of a team. LeBron is averaging 25, 8, and 6, and Anthony Davis is averaging 24, 12, and 3. The first problem I want to point out is they're both doing pretty great so far. Anthony Davis in his first game, the second half was absolutely terrible. He had nothing, literally. He's picked it up. He's been decently consistent. LeBron has also done the same. LeBron looks really good this year still. I did see a thing that was kind of stupid, I thought. The Lakers, they sent a complaint and review request, I guess, to just the head of the league. I don't really know exactly what it was, like the league offices, about reviewing fouls that should have been called on him. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I probably over-explained that, but I thought that was kind of dumb. My first concern, getting back to that, was their third best scorer being D'Lo, who is averaging 7 less than AD. Not that every team, the top players average the same, but I feel like it shouldn't be too big of a gap, considering they could realistically be a big 3. D'Lo's coming off a contract. It's not bad at all. I'm not going to say D'Lo's having a bad start, but could do better. They lost to the Kings in overtime. Super close game. Nuggets was a pretty close game. They lost to the Magic by 19 points. That one was one that kind of concerned me, which is why I put them as worrying. And the Heat they lost to last night, I put maybe off a bad call because I'm seeing a lot of people saying that. I kind of watched it. I only watched it once or twice. I didn't see anything, but I'm going to watch it again after this video and probably change my mind. Sorry if the lighting is bad, by the way. All their games except the Magic that they lost have been within 12. So it's not like they're getting blown out every game at all. Like 12 is the biggest amount they've lost by, other than 19 by the Magic. So they give them time. They beat the Suns without Booker, of course, but still they beat the Suns. They could do some good things. Speaking of the Suns, Same record, 3-4. I put Suns not as fraudulent. None of them I put as actually frauds because it's too early, but I put struggling. Kevin Durant is averaging 36-4, which is honestly pretty amazing so far. He's looked great. He's just Kevin Durant. Devin Booker, in the whole whopping 2 games he's played, has averaged 32, 7.5, and 10.5, which is ridiculous, actually. He's averaging a 32-point double-double with 8 rebounds a night. But like I said, that's in 2 games, so it's really not crazy until he does it for like 5 minimum, because then that's a lot of points to average. But like I just said also, KD is averaging 30 right now, and I like that. I'm a Suns fan, in case y'all are unaware, so I'm very happy to see KD doing good because it gives me hope for when we get Bradley Beal back. But speaking of him, I put him on here as well as showing signs of injury struggle, which he has been doing so far. We, as a fan base, had to listen to a lot of people telling us injury troubles, chemistry troubles, contract issues, ball dominance issues. And I kind of went against all of those things, and I still will, especially the ball dominance one. I'll argue that with anyone all day. But I will kind of agree with the injury issues, seeing as Beal has been out the whole season and Book is out again after coming back for 1 game. So I'll give credit to that one. I'll speak on that topic and say it is definitely a concern. But again, what team are injuries not a concern for? Fair point. I also want to point out, we lost to the Lakers without Booker, and then we lost to the Spurs twice. They just beat us, and one time Wemby let us have it for sure. It was bad. So I don't have anything to say about those games, honestly, other than we looked bad in those games. I think without Booker as well, except for maybe one of them, and then, or maybe it was a Sixers game. It was a Sixers game or Spurs game. We had Book for one of them, and we still lost. But we did just lose to the Sixers by 12, I think. Embiid looks really good scoring-wise. I'm not a big Embiid guy. I'm kind of a hater, you could say, just due to the MVP thing last year. But solid so far, scoring big time. Like, he had 48 last night, which respect to him. The other thing I was going to point out, lots of people were coming at me before the season, and everyone wanted to talk about Nurkic is a better fit, Nurkic is going to be better this season, stuff like that, better than Ayton this season. And I don't want to argue the whole better fit part because it's not worth it. But looked at the stats earlier. Ayton is currently averaging 10, 13, and 1. So he's averaging a double-double with 10 points, 13 rebounds. 1 assist is bad. I'll give him that. But 10 and 13 is all we would need from him and some defense. And Nurkic is averaging 9, 8, and 4, which isn't bad, but it's not Ayton numbers. And he's for sure showing signs of injury struggle because every single time I watch a Suns game, I see this dude getting hurt for a few minutes and complaining on the floor. So I'm still not a Nurkic guy, as you may say. I wish we kept Ayton still, but we'll see how that ends up working out. I thought I had on here something else. I guess I forgot to put that Eric Gordon. Oh no, I'm crazy. It's on the next one. So, getting into fabulous NBA opening, I put the Suns bench to start us. All look to be great role players. Everyone's contributed in the wins we've had. Everyone's contributed in the losses we've had. And once we have our full team back, that bench isn't going to have to do as much, so they're going to be really solid. Eric Gordon is averaging 15, 2, and 3, which is really good for a bench player. And Grayson Allen is averaging 11, 4, and 3, which is also very good. I put were top 3 to 5 in depth easily, I would say, and could end up as, or currently even be, arguably the best depth team. You got the Bucks, the Lakers, the Sixers, Clippers, Celtics, Nuggets, all very notable deep teams, but I feel like the Suns' depth is actually very, very good this season. So, moving on, I said Chet Holmgren. He's been unbelievably good, especially for a third option on the team. He's averaging 17, 8, and 3. He had 7 blocks in one game at one point, and he's averaging 2.4 blocks per game and 1 steal per game. And he's averaging 53.8% three-point shot over 25 shots. On over 25 shots, I mean. So, he has slightly, like, when I say slightly, I mean, like, within a little bit. Like, he has very close stats to Wemby right now. And he's a third option, which, like, you can look at the stats because someone posted, I think it was NBA themselves earlier, they posted their stats side by side. And you can say that Wemby's better, but you also got to look at Chet, like I just said, as the third option, and Wemby's the best prospect ever, apparently, according to almost everyone. So, when you put it that way, I'm a big Chet Holmgren fan, and he's still my Rookie of the Year. Wemby just had that one really huge game, so I'll give him that. Third, I said the 6-2 Golden State Warriors playing unreal. Curry averaging 31, 5, and 4. 31 points a game from Steph Curry. He just doesn't go away. Neither do the Warriors. Chris Paul, I put averaging 9, 4, and 8. A lot of people expected him to be old and done this season. He's just one of the best passers I've ever seen. He's shooting 14% from 3 this season. Chris Paul is. So I don't know what you want to take from that. He's never really been the biggest three-point guy. He's a mid-range guy, but 14% no matter what is disgustingly bad. And then the Warriors just look great as a team with Steph Curry. That is. We'll see what happens after he gets injured at some point, probably. But lastly, to end us off, I put Cam Thomas as a fabulous start because he is playing out of his mind, averaging 29, 4, and 2.4. He's literally averaging almost Curry, KD numbers. He's averaging more than LeBron and AD. And it's Cam Thomas. No disrespect to him, but when you put him up with guys like that, that's 100% pretty crazy. So props to him. Crazy start, decent team. We'll see if he falls off again because he did do this last season, if you guys remember. He averaged, I think it was 30, even maybe almost 40 points a game for like a 4 or 5 game stretch. And then he still did solid on the Nets, but we just didn't hear about him the rest of the season. So that was something. I think he'll be consistent this year, but I don't think he'll average these numbers all year. I think he'll average a good, like, 22, 4, and, like, 2. So it won't be that different, but the points will definitely go down. I don't see him averaging that much all season. But that being said, that just about wraps up the video. And like I said, this was Bryson with the Winning Streak or Viper Times if you're watching this from there. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next week.